Biblical prophecies have always fascinated humanity. From the Old Testament to the Book of Revelation, they promise to reveal the fate of the world and the relationship between the divine and the human. But what do these prophecies mean today? In a world that seems increasingly unstable, many wonder if the events we witness daily are the fulfillment of these ancient revelations. Let's delve deeply into the meaning of biblical prophecies and try to understand what they have to say about our present and future. In the Bible, prophecies are much more than predictions of what is to come. They carry messages of warning, comfort, and hope for the faithful. The purpose of prophecies is to guide people back to God's path, reminding them of His sovereignty and the inevitable fulfillment of His will. In the Old Testament, prophets like Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel not only predicted the fall of nations or the rise of kings but also called on the people to return to obeying God's commandments. They warned of the consequences of disobedience and breaking the covenant with the Creator. And today, could the events we're witnessing be an echo of these warnings? The emergence of pandemics, global conflicts, economic crises, and climate change has led many to believe that we are living in the last days, as described in the Book of Revelation. While it is important not to interpret every event as a definitive sign of the end, we cannot ignore the similarities between the scriptures and contemporary events. Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, plagues, and famine. These words are eerily familiar. The book of Daniel, for example, is one of the most studied passages when it comes to prophecies about the end times. In it, the prophet Daniel describes visions of kingdoms that would succeed one another until the establishment of God's kingdom. These visions have been interpreted in various ways over the centuries, but most scholars agree that Daniel was predicting a time when God would intervene in human history definitively. Today, many believe that we live in this period of expectation, waiting for divine intervention to correct the injustices of the world. Similarly, the book of Revelation, the last book of the Bible, describes a series of catastrophic events that would precede the return of Jesus Christ. Among the most well-known images are those of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, symbolizing conquest, war, famine, and death. Some believe that these plagues are already upon us, manifesting in global crises that threaten world stability. Others, however, interpret these passages symbolically, referring to spiritual conflicts and battles fought within people's souls. It is interesting to note that prophecies, though often terrifying, also bring promises of redemption. In the end, God will restore the world to its original perfection. Evil will be defeated, and the faithful will live forever with Him. This message of hope is crucial to understanding the purpose of biblical prophecies. They were not written to instill fear in us but to encourage us to remain steadfast in faith, regardless of the circumstances. Now think with me, as so many events seem to be converging, are we prepared for what is to come? And more importantly, are we drawing closer to God as these signs manifest? This is an essential reflection for all of us, and I invite you to continue this journey of learning and discovery. Speaking of which, if you're seeking more answers and want to delve deeper into the topic of biblical prophecies and how they apply to current times, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, Biblical Tales and Prayers. There, we explore together the meaning of the scriptures and how they can guide us in such uncertain times. Your subscription to the channel helps expand this evangelization effort and reach more people who, like you, are searching for spiritual answers. Don't forget to click the notification bell to receive all updates. Returning to our study, one of the most fascinating aspects of biblical prophecy is its timelessness. Although written thousands of years ago, they continue to resonate deeply in our modern era. Prophets like Ezekiel and John, the author of Revelation, could not have foreseen the technological advances or environmental challenges we face today. However, their words seem to describe exactly the dilemmas and crises we see in the news. This is one reason why so many Christians are paying attention to the signs of the times. An important question is, how should we prepare for the fulfillment of these prophecies? The biblical answer is clear: through faith and obedience to God. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus warned His followers to be ready because no one knows the day or the hour of His return. This does not mean living in fear but rather with the confidence that no matter what happens, God is in control. However, what many may not realize is that the prophecies are also an invitation to repentance. They call us to reevaluate our lives, turn away from sin, and seek a deeper relationship with God. In uncertain times, biblical prophecy is not merely a narrative of impending destruction but an invitation to spiritual renewal. Moreover, as we study the prophecies, we see how they connect us to a greater purpose. We are not alone in this world. We are part of a grand story, the story of redemption. Every event that happens, every crisis, no matter how devastating it seems, is leading to a conclusion planned by God from the beginning of time. This should fill us with hope because we know that the end of the story has already been written, and it is a glorious ending. Every day more people feel that the world is entering a new phase. Scientists, political leaders, and even religious figures from various denominations speak of a change of age or a great transition. For Christians, this echoes what the Bible has been saying for centuries. God is preparing the way for the final restoration of His kingdom. But before that, the world will have to go through difficult times, like a purification that precedes glory. If you feel touched by this message and want to learn more about biblical prophecy and how it applies to our lives today, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel Biblical Tales and Prayers. Your subscription is crucial for this work to continue to grow and reach more people. Together, we can strengthen our faith and our community, preparing for the future with confidence in God.